Delhi, and I call myself 50x coach. And many people ask me, what is 50x coach? So I just want to tell you a small story about myself. I'm an engineering professional, and with approximately 37 years of experience living in and yeah, and uh, actually, I was planning to retire as everybody retires at the age of, say, 58 or 59. So I was thinking I got my heart operated at the age of 50 because of some complications. And after that, I thought I'll live a very normal life, very laid back attitude life. But then my mind said, no, something has to be done. So I started a new venture. And again, in that venture, when I failed, I said, okay, that's it. I'll not take any stress on my body, and I'll just retire from my active life. So at the age of 56, my son came to me. He said, Father, what are you doing? I said, dear, I have done my things. You are now an engineer working in a multinational company. Daughter is also doing post graduation. So I don't want to work. Why should I work? So he said one thing which triggered the 50x coach dream inside me. He simply said, he said, Dad, your dad, his grandfather, my son's grandfather, retired at the age of 58 in 1989. And after my marriage and after my sister's marriage, he said, I'll not do anything. And we lost him at the age of 64 in 1994. We lost him. And that today, when I look back, and my son told me that day that Harvard University says that if somebody is not doing work after 58, after retirement, his lifespan is just 5 to 7 years. So that thing got stuck into my mind, and I said, okay, fine, I'll not be retiring throughout my life. And then on that day, the mission 50x coach started. And then everything fall into place. I called one of my old friend who knows me since ages. I said, I want to start work again. He said, come over, I have got a good position for you. And in last 2 years now, I have been working as a CEO in a company, as well as I'm doing this 50x coach, uh, coaching, mentoring, and 50 plus pruner I am. So looking back, I can see that people after 58 just think that they have done everything and they don't have anything to do. And basically, what happens when they retire, they have got so much time that idling of the mind and idling of the body workout, they simply go fade away within 5 to 7 years because there is no work. And when there is no work, the mind goes here haywire and everything starts deteriorating in the body. So my fundamental in 50x coach is that until unless you breathe your last, you should be working. So for working, the first and foremost thing which comes into your mind is that you need to be fit. What happens is that after 58, once we are retired, or after 60, once we are retired, we say, okay, now what to do? There is, I have settled my kids, I have settled my family, I've got a house with me, I've got little bit of money in the bank, which will be enough for me to live my life happily after retirement. Some people have planned their retirement finances also. So they just start deteriorating their mental, physical, and emotional state. So these three things, which once they start, it gets start deteriorating. So body also starts aging rapidly, and within 5 to 7 years, which is a very true statement from the Harvard University, that after the age of retirement, if somebody is not active physically and mentally and working something and spending his time or her time on a fruitful thing, he will simply go away within 5 to 7 years. So this thing I want to change in my 50x coach regime, in which we first and foremost we tell people to be fit. You can see me. I am just turning 59 in next 3 days on 5th of September. And in the lockdown, what I have done, I have worked on my body because I was not going out for work. I was not going to office. I have reduced 8 kgs of weight in last 5 months, and which is, I think, it's an achievement for me. And I'm looking quite young. I'm feeling quite young, and I'm feeling lot more energetic, which I was feeling in January or February. So these are the few things. And then uh, in 50x coach, what we are doing, we are teaching people to get connected with other people. Because you see, if we are having layer time, if we are having just idle time for our brain will go here and there and start thinking negatively also. You can understand that there are around 60,000 thoughts which are coming to us every day, and out of that 80 to 90% are negative thoughts, which are to be curtailed by the positive thoughts. And then only you will be living happily. Otherwise you will be worrying. In COVID situation, people are worrying what will happen. So whatever is going to happen, that's going to happen. If I'm if I'm thinking negatively, then negative things will automatically come to me. And if I'm thinking positively, then nothing can happen to me if I am positive in my mind, because there is a positive force which is protecting me from every evil thing in the world. So this is my principle. And third thing I said, we have to be emotionally strong. In India, I don't say all over the world, but in India, what is happening is that once the father retires, what he does, whatever he has got, he simply says, okay, this is, if he's got son and daughter and whosoever are his siblings, he says, okay, these things are for you. And then he comes to the mercy of his kids. This is a very common thing happening in this part of the world. I can't say this is happening all over the world, but in India, these things are happening. And then what happens is, the father who has earned lots of money and gives everything to his son or daughter ends up in the old age home. I'll not say that whosoever is present here may be thinking the same way, but I have seen people, I have seen very affluent people even, who have been sent to old age homes because they have surrendered everything to their kids. So these are the few things I want to change in 50x coach. And I would like that after your retirement, you should look for a hobby. You should look for the experience which you have got throughout your jobs or throughout your business regime or whatever you have done in the first 50 to 60 years of your life, and use that potential, use that experience, and use that thing for the betterment of the other people. This is the time which is give back time. I call this 50 plus age as third inning also, because in India we consider four phases of our life. First phase, 0 to 25 years, is the called brahmacharya phase. Second phase, second inning, we call it the married life, 25 to 50, and 50 to 75, we called it Vanprasthashram, which is a mythological thing in which we need to give back to the world. Whatever we have got from the world, we need to give it back to the world and enrich the world with from our experiences as well as our knowledge. So this I call it third inning, and I have written a book on third inning, win in your third inning, which is just going to be published in this month. It was delayed because of the prevailing situation of lockdown. Otherwise, it would have come in the month of July. But I am hopeful that this month end I'll be getting it into the market. So these are the few things which are there in 50x coach and 50 plus pruner. And some people ask me that you are running a program which is called Retired to Rewired. So why do you think that people should get rewired again after getting retired? So this is a very normal question which many people ask. Many of my friends also ask who have retired from government jobs, who have retired from some good organizations, because I am 58, so many of my friends are also of the same age. So they say we have done 35 years of job, and why now again you want to put us into the same thing, into the routine, into the binding of doing something regularly and something which we just want that. Okay, now we have done our job, we have raised our kids, we have made our house, so we should be left alone. We should be left to enjoy our life. So then I tell them that rewiring is not that you are going to entangle yourself again into the 9 to 5 kind of job, but you have got 24 hours, and which has have to be utilized in a proper manner. So that proper manner is called rewiring of your life. You have got now almost 8 to 10 hours free, which you were spending on your job or on your business. But those 8 to 10 hours should be used now in a positive manner, first thing. Secondly, in a productive manner. You should not be a consumer now, only a consumer. You should be producer also. Because of your experience, you can do lot many things which younger people may not be able to do. uh, I I must say that younger people listening to this will disagree that they are more energetic and they can do everything. But the thing is, experience always speaks, and my experience is that sometimes life experience are much better than the bookish knowledge or the college graduates or MBAs whosoever has done the knowledge they get from them. So that is basically a thing which is there with us. With 35 or 40 years of working experience, we have uh, done many things in our life. We have initiated many new projects. We have uh, basically had lots of subordinates. We have managed a bigger teams in our life. So there are so many things which are there in our experience which can be utilized for going into again into a new kind of thing. We can start some social work, we can start develop some hobby, we can write a book, we can give we can write our experiences in the book which will benefit other people. We can tell people what problems we have solved in our life. So there are so many things which a 50 plus pruner can do. And a 50 as 50x coach, I can tell you that you are a powerhouse. Until unless you just switch off your power, you still have all the spark there in you. So that spark can be ignited if you come close to 50x coach, if you try to balance your wheel of life now at the age of 58 or 60. Many people say that we just want to spend time with our kids. Okay, fine, that is very good thing to do. But still, you will be having lots of time when your kids are at job. You will be having lots of free time when you will be alone, and that time can make you or can break you also if you are not going in the right direction. If you are just spending your time on eating and sleeping and not taking care of your health, so your time will be shortened to 5 to 7 years, which is, uh, I have told you about the study by Harvard University. So these are few things which I watch for in 50x coach. And in 50x coach, we also talk about health and wealth also. So how 50 plus people can monetize their experiences, how 50x people can live a 50x life, is that they can also, one thing is they can write a book, they can share their experiences with the world, they can start a passion which can be monetized, they can start a hobby, they can do some social work, and there are so many things which can be done. They can be coach, they can be mentor to people, they are the people who have lived their life and solved lots and lots of problems in their job and in their business. So those experiences can be monetized. You see, this time is a time of e-age, empowerment talks, we are in at the moment, but e-age, I am talking about electronic age, or artificial intelligence age is the better term to say nowadays. I have been into, I have been 59 years of age. When I was studying my engineering, we used to have, if we wanted to have a phone call to our home, we used to have a lightning call through the exchange. uh, People aged 60 or 50 plus or 70 can understand my language, that what is lightning call and how the phones used to work in early 80s and 70s. So uh, nowadays, you people are getting everything on the click of a phone, smartphone. You can see me now talking on this talk. Otherwise, there was no way we could see anybody of any of our friends in those days. It was just the voice which we can hear, and that too we need to book a call and then wait for 4, 5, 7 hours sometime to talk to our parents or talk to our friends. And we used to have letters, we used to write letters, there was no emails, there were no communication systems. So things have changed in our life, and we have come a long way in our life. We have seen computers to the size of uh,
Yeah.
Almiras. You will be younger people will be amazed to know that in computer rooms we used to go with barefoot, and it was AC rooms were there for computers, and where there was no dust was allowed. So many things we know that which the younger generation or the millennial generation, who is now 18 or 20 or something like that, don't know about it. So there are so many things which we have seen which can be utilized to uh, monetized, or which can be utilized to for the betterment of this world. We are seeing lots of pandemics coming. Uh, we are seeing lots of stress in the younger people. But I think people of my age who are retired now or who are getting retired are people who know what is the peace of mind, what is the value of peace of mind. We don't get irritated on smaller things. We don't get have anxiety about the things which are beyond our control. So there are so many things which can be learned from our generation by the younger generation. I think Yash must be thinking that I'm giving him some gyan, but the thing is, this is a reality of the world, because younger generation always thinks that they are better than the older generation, and that is the way generation gap is there. But still, I would say that the senior generation, the older generation has the experience which can explain each and every situation in our younger generation's life. So those things can be used to monetize, as well as can be used to benefit others, which is a part of our 50 plus premier program. And I've told you the three most uh, important factors is: one is fitness, then second is your emotional health, and first is physical health, then second is emotional health, and third one is spiritual and social health. So these are the few things which I want to share with you on this talk. And now I would like that if Yash wants anything, or
Yep.
anybody else wants to know anything about retired to rewired, or if any specific questions are there, so you can unmute yourself, and we can have a question and answer session. And in between also, if something comes to my mind and I would like to share, I will definitely be sharing many things with you.
Thank you
Over to
very
you,
much,
Yash.
Mr. Rajiv, for this wonderful insight. And I love the way, like, I personally have a lot of respect for the elderly, even if there is 1 year gap between, because the very fact that that person has lived one more year than me gives me so much of insights, because he has gone through a lot more of emotions, and this the journey of life, right? That itself, like, he has lived one more year, so he has gone through more emotions, more things in his life that I have gone through. And when the gap is something like 30 or 35 years, that gap gives that like, huge respect for the person. So I'm not saying whether the character of a person is good or bad, because you meet a lot of people, but the very fact that they have lived more than you gives you that respect, and I personally believe it in so much. And I also love the fact how you have made it in a way where it has been told that one second. So I love the fact that it was told that you enjoy, like, you enjoy the life even after the 50, and that's where people kind of think of, okay, okay, now is the time to kind of sit back and just observe my kids, what they're doing, and all sort of things. So my first question is about, and I'll pretty much keep it very crisp. Like, what about a lot of generation people who are in your generation want to spend time with their kids, want to spend time with their grandkids, but what about those people, they don't want to spend time with you? And that's what the many families face, the situation that you as a grandparent want to spend time with your grandkids, or you as a parent want to spend time with your kids, but they don't want to spend time with you. How do you go about dealing with those situations?
It's a very common thing these days that kids don't want their parents to live with them. But the hard fact is that the traditional Indian family values are still prevailing in many parts of India. In urban cities or in metropolitan cities, many kids are thinking that nucleus family is good, and we don't want to have burden of our parents. But one thing you will
No,
also
I
agree
just
with.
want to stop you over there. Like, what exactly has changed? Like, why the parents have become the burden? You just mentioned that parents have become a burden to the kids. It shouldn't be there in the ideal world, right? Ideal world are, they are the person who has bought you all throughout your life. Where did that change happen, that a parent has become a burden to a kid or to a adult? Like, is it a societal pressure that has happened, or is it the world has moved so fast that
uh,
a parent has been
I
treated as
think
a burden?
I think Yash, in this I would say that it is something has gone wrong with my generation also, because we have not taught the values which our parents have taught us. You see, my only regret in my life is that I was not able to uh, serve my parents, because my both my parents left at the age of mother in 1993 and father in 1994. So I just had that regret that I was not able to do seva of them. And now my son says, okay, he is now in different city, but he says, after I am getting married, so you have to come and stay with us, we'll be staying together. So if some people are getting this from their kids, that they don't want their parents to live with them, so I would say that more than 50% responsibility in that behavior is because of the older generation's upbringing of their kids. There may be some reasons of television shows, there may be some reasons of films, there may be some reasons that our generation was because of that time in early 70s, 80s, and 90s, we were very busy in getting ourselves established in the world. So we were not being, we never gave the right kind of things to our kids. Otherwise, this is not because this, in India, in Indian Sanskriti, I would say that parents are treated as gods. I treat my parents as gods, and it is always there. But if some people, if some kids are not treating their parents as the first things, as gods, then the responsibility of the parents is more than the kids.
I think
That is,
one of the things that I see it as a generation, and I see as a very practical thing, as a practical problem, is the money. And I will quite vocal about it. And a lot of people are raised in villages, and then because of the limited opportunity that the village offers in terms of employability and other things, those kids end up going into those urban places, or they go out to different nations and all. And all throughout, that parent has been raised in that locality of that village or the rural India, whatever it is. So for now, for this parent to go and live into an urban city, or for this kid to come back and live in, so this is the practical problem. So somewhere money and values, they conflict each other, because if you come back to village, you won't have those employability, you won't earn that money. And obviously the kid has to think of the generations that is gonna he be serving, or the adult has to see the generation below him as well. So this is the practical problem that kind of happens with the every other family out there. Like, as a parent, you want your kid to be educated enough to go and earn that much money, and that money is not offered in your city. So how do you go about? And I'm pretty sure this, I may be like the 100th or 1000th person who is asking you this question.
see, you have already answered in your question only what is the problem. You see, the cultural difference is because we are now aping the Western culture, in which they free their kids at the age of 18, and they tell them that you go out and earn your living and stay alone. So that kind of culture is coming into India also, and we are facing this kind of problem in India. But the thing is, basically, we are not we are not giving our kids the freedom which in Western worlds they are giving. And uh, we are still attached to each other, and the kids are now thinking that parents as a burden, because they think that they are old timers, they are not suitable for the society in which they are going in. They are, if they are into a they have done engineering, and their parents are still 10th class pass or not studied in the school or college, if they are from the village. So that kind of cultural difference, that kind of difference of status, I would
I,
say,
I what I
is
think
very.
about it is it a difference of culture? Is it the difference of applicability of that particular thing? Because you always hear from your parents that we used to walk like 5 kilometers, we used to walk like 10 kilometers, cycling, and we used to carry the water and all those things back in their days. Now as a kid or as an adult, because of the applicability and the amount of resources being there for the adults, like the generation, like the whole world has changed. So obviously the elder generation have a lot more experience and knowledge, but the applicability of that thing, because of the additional resources that the other kid have, that's where the difference comes in, I think. So
You see, here I would say that here is, if as a 50x coach, I tell my patrons and I tell my mentees that you have to change with the world. Because
yeah, that's
okay, I used to cycle to my college. I used to in my first job I was having a small scooter Lambretta at that point of time. So now my kid has started his life. He just first vehicle he bought is his car. So there is lots of things are changing. So we must understand that the kids also want us to adopt to the new technologies. I am now adopting to new technologies. I'm talking to you on Zoom. I have learned many things on computer just by hit and trial method. I have not gone to any college to learn technology, but with my uh, with my appetite or with my curiosity, I have learned many things. So if parents are not adopting to the new things which their kids want, so that starts bringing in the difference between the parents and the kids. And that is one root cause which can change into very big difference among them. And kids thinking that uh, I am seeing Netflix series at night, and my father always stops me doing that. So if the parent understand that okay, this is the time they want to enjoy and this is the thing they want to do, so they have to adopt to new things also. So both, it is both ways. It is not one way that only kids are feeling the parents as their burden, as a burden, but parents are also thinking that okay, let him go away and earn the thing, and he may be able to give us something out of it. So there is a vested interest in both the things. And if they both communicate properly, I think this topic is there. You have highlighted it, but I don't think there is hardly in India 5 to 10%, more than 5 to 10% of these kind of things are happening. Otherwise, many families are adopting to their kids. Many grandchildren are enjoying their grandparents, and there is so much harmony still in the Indian
no, that's
culture
true.
that
That's what I love about Indian culture, like
yeah.
the very fact that you mentioned it. Now I want to jump into what, as a 50x coach, you
Hmm.
do for the people who are beyond and who join your network. Like how will a day a different between a non 50x member, like who is in your community, and a member who is not in your community, a particular day? How could it be a different? I'll just break it down
Uh,
there.
okay. A day in a 50x life is a very systematic day. I start my regime in summers. It is 5 a.m. club. In winters, it is 6 a.m. club, in which we have 1 hour regime of exercise, of affirmations, of gratitude. First and foremost thing is gratitude. We
By the way, we
always
also
start.
we also run our 5 a.m. club here in Dubai as well, like ET
Yes,
5 a.m.
of course. We it is. I'm not shy about saying that uh, it is given to us by Robin Sharma,
Robin Sharma.
and we are following. And I have changed few things in that. We have done some. We are now added acupressure also. We have added yoga also. We have added pranayam also, and we discuss. We give some positive stories also. Alternate days we write
And where does this happen?
poems.
It happens in a park.
No, it is because of this pandemic. It is all on Zoom and on video calls only.
Previously,
We have got groups, and we have tied up with many senior citizen clubs, which run it independently also on the pattern which we have developed. So that 1.5 hour in the morning goes that way. And then after that, we used to have interaction on the this social media. We have got groups there, and videos are there on YouTube of my 50x Coach channel.
And what's
Uh,
the
in which
community age like? So you have people who are 85, 90 as well, or it's just like,
few of them 80 plus are there. I can mention here one person, 90-year-old. He is administrative officer in one of the uh, NGO, which is for you must have heard about Smarthanam. It's an NGO for blind. So he is an administrative officer. He is a retired government officer, and he's so energetic. I feel envied of him, of his energy. If you tell him that you have to reach at this place at 6 a.m., so he'll be there at 5 minutes before 6. So that kind of people are there. But normally in 50x Coach, we have got people who are 60 plus, 70 plus, and few of them are 80 plus also. Because 80 plus people think that, okay, still they think that now the life is going to end. But I see my principle in life is I want to live my life with my shoes on till I breathe last.
that,
So if that kind of attitude is anybody has got, he's the most welcome person in our community. And I'm finding lots and lots of people are thinking that they should have a routine after retirement also. So I was talking about the daily routine. In daily routine, what we do, we spend 1.5 hour in the morning. Then we have our breakfast and all those things. And then on alternate days, we used to have some sessions of layer time. There are some peer groups in different cities which meet physically before used to meet before this pandemic and will start again after the pandemic. But at the moment, what we are doing, we are planning some uh, WhatsApp groups in which we discuss the things, we plan the things. And in the evening, we have started just now, it's 3 weeks before. It is called third inning adda. So,
wow.
if Indians can understand what is adda, that is spending your leisure time in which nobody will judge whatever you are saying, and they'll just comment on it positively. And people used to have these addas in the park. People used to sit on the benches in the park and discuss anything and everything on earth. So those
Yeah.
kind of things are layer time we are spending together. And in those layer time meetings, there sometimes somebody shares his story, somebody shares his achievement, what he has done or what she has done. So we get inspired by those stories, and that cultivates the positivity among the 50 plus people. So it is all about caring about yourself, loving yourself. Then once you are loving yourself, then you love your society, then you love your family, then you
I'm
love your
sure
kids.
these people, this community have got so much friendships coming up. Like when you have such a community, there would be so much friendships that will
Yes,
blossom
yes.
through this.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? There is a senior citizen club which has got on Facebook itself, which has got 45,000 members, and
Wow.
I'm a proud part of that community. So, of course,
And I'm pretty sure this
many of people,
45,000 must have learned Facebook. Like a lot of people must have learned Facebook just to be part of that
of course.
group, right?
And yesterday I was seeing there was a 83-year-old lady. She wrote to me. She said, "I want to be member of this community." I said, "You are already a member in this community, and you don't worry. You everybody is seeing your messages, and many people will respond back." And in one day only, there were approximately 427 messages uh,
Wow.
were there on her post. So that is the power of technology, and that is the adaptability of older people to adopt the technology. So I feel great when I see people older than me more energetic and more positive than me.
Wow. Just a last question from my side, and then I'll go about asking the questions from the audience and the people who are watching us on YouTube as well. My
Yeah.
last question to you is, if you would have to give an advice to an adult right now, I know you go about advising 50 plus people, you have set up that community and all this thing. If you were to have give one advice to a 20-year-old or to a 25-year-old, what would that
uh, I would give the same advice which I give to my two lovely kids, that each and every situation in your life is going to give you something. Even if it is in that situation you fail or pass, you will have an experience. Cherish that experience and try. If you have failed, try not to do that thing again to fail. And if you are doing good in that, spread the word that this is the thing which is to be done. So learn from everything in your life and give it back to the world. Because once you start enjoying your life, once you start giving back to the world, once you start saying thank you to God for everything you have got, you will start getting more and more and more in your life. And that is the basic principle, that what you give. uh, I quote one old song of Hindi film, तुम एक पैसा दोगे वो 10 लाख देगा. So
be?
if you give back, if you are, you see, if you are feeling bad any day, you go out, just feed a small dog on the street, or just feed one person who is hungry. You will feel so good in the evening that you will forget all your problems in life. So that is the advice I would give to everybody, younger or older. If you have got anything, just give to the world, and world will give you much much more back.
That's so true. That's so true. Thank you very much. Just one more. I just love asking questions. And so, what is the top three topics that you guys talk about in this adda? So, I just want to understand what elderly people talk about. So, one of them is surely politics that I can bang on.
No, we don't. We normally don't discuss politics. We discuss about, first thing is health, how your health is, how, if anything is wrong, how you can improve it. What are the yoga you can do? What are the acupressure you can do? Uh, because this is the most important thing. Being elderly person, health. If health is not there, you have got crores and crores of rupees. You cannot enjoy them. So health is the main topic, is health. And then second thing comes your, what is your time pass, how you are spending your good time, what is your entertainment source, and how you are having any hobbies, or you have got some other things to do. So those are the, that is the second thing. And third thing is just plain stupid talks.
Wow.
That is, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. Somebody says, यार मैं वहां गया, I saw this thing, मेरे को बहुत अच्छा लगा. ओके, वाई, क्यों अच्छा लगा, ये पता नहीं, बस बहुत अच्छा लगा. So that is you enjoy being in the company of older people, and they will say anything, and you enjoy. That is what is uh, third inning adda is all about, in which we will not judge you by what you are saying. We will just see how enjoying, how much enjoyment you are getting from by saying those words, and how much enjoyment you are giving to other people. There are people who write poems. Maybe those poems are just worthless, but once we listen, we clap and we encourage them to write better. So
Thank
that
you.
is what we
I
do.
love the name third inning Anda. Whosoever has given that name,
I
kudos.
hope that this word will be a very prominent word in next 1 or 2 years,
For
because
sure,
I'll
for
be
sure.
starting these addas in each, and my dream is to have uh, third inning adda in each and every town of India and each and every town of the world.
So the links that I've posted is the ones that they can join. There is a WhatsApp group link, there's a Facebook link, and the YouTube channel link, and their LinkedIn link. So this is
I'll be sharing many more links to you, because I'm not very much tech savvy, but I have to take help of few of my younger friends who help me to
okay.
make
So a
these
lot of
pages and
people will
all.
be connecting to you on LinkedIn after this from a community, and then you can go
I'm
about adding them to
Yes,
the
yes.
group. So I put in,
I'm very active on LinkedIn only, because LinkedIn was a professional network which I joined, I think, 7 8 years back. So now I'm very active on LinkedIn. But rest of the things I'm learning. I'm learning lot many things in social
I
media.
am learning a lot from this conversation for sure. So how was your experience coming to Empowerment Talks, and some beautiful words for this platform? You have heard about this story from us. We got from Bhavini, who was the one contacting you, and then we go about
You
having this
see, Yash,
conversation.
I had heard about TEDx, I had heard about Joe Stocks, but once you approached me, so I researched about Empowerment Talks, and I think this is the newest and the first platform of such kind of talks, because all those TEDx and Joe Stocks are all monotonous talks. They are just delivered. They are not a kind of question and answer, and they are not responsive talks. They are just delivering the things. So this is a very very beautiful platform you have created, and I think by my talk today, many of my friends, many of my 50 plus people will understand that what is the need of 50x coach or 50 plus preneur in the world, because we have got tons and tons of experience with us, and
True.
that experience, if used utilized properly, can change the world all the way around. There are so many things which we can do with our experience, which normally I'll not offend any of the millennials, but normally will not be done by the younger generation.
You know,
But
the
the
very
thing is,
fact that if we have such programs, so all these millennials will one day become 50 plus people.
yes, of
So
course.
if there is more structure into 50 plus life, so we will love to become 50 plus then. Okay, we're gonna enter into this 50 plus life now. So thank you very much for having into conversation with me. I loved a lot, and thank you very much who
Same
all
here, same here.
watching on YouTube. And now it's the time for us to go and have the